Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another F1 Manager 2023 mod showcase. Today we've got something other than a car livery, a driver helmet mod. I've got to admit that up until making this video, I never actually dabbled with the helmet mods in either of the Manager games, even though there were a lot for 2022, but they do make up a good portion of the mods for these games, and there are already a handful of driver helmet mods made for 2023. Whilst we aren't exactly looking at liveries today, this mod was still, of course, made by GLXFX. He does a great job with liveries, and he's done a great job with these helmets. This mod specifically takes the helmet designs of the real reserve drivers for the Formula 1 teams and puts them in-game. All these helmets do not exist in-game, with the exception of Daniel Ricciardo. Although his 2023 helmet is not in-game, it reuses his 2022 helmet from the previous game. It is very much worth noting that this mod does not add the helmet designs for the drivers individually, but replaces the generic team helmet texture with the real reserve driver's design. For example, the AlphaTauri generic team helmet is replaced with the design for Liam Lawson's helmet, as he is currently their reserve driver. But if you were to sign another driver that is not Liam Lawson, or is not one of the main 20 drivers on the grid, they would also sport Liam Lawson's helmet, if that makes sense. I'm now going to dive individually into each helmet design, give you guys a proper look and some good information about the design. I do apologize if any information I present is wrong or outdated, as finding information on helmet designs for reserve drivers and F2 drivers can be harder than it seems, because most links and sources for helmets just direct to sites selling like scale replica signed helmets, so it is a bit tricky. Let's start with Antonio Giovinazzi as Ferrari's reserve driver. This design is directly based on his Formula 1 reserve driver helmet that was used in 2022, and the same design he featured on his own helmet during his time as a driver at Alfa Romeo. It seems this man is very proud of his heritage, with the helmet mostly being taken up with a very cool design of shapes representing the Italian tricolour flag. Giovinazzi famously competed and won in the 24 Hours at Le Mans earlier this year for Ferrari, but sported a different helmet representing the Ferrari colours of yellow and red. Personally, that would have been another great helmet to have in game. That being said, Antonio has still been seen wearing his Italian flag helmet during his hypercar adventures earlier this year. We now have Mick Schumacher. Mick's 2023 helmet was thankfully a lot easier to find information on, and GLXFX made a spot-on texture representing his neon lime, purple, and black helmet. This design features the iconic Monster Energy sponsor at the top, as seen on all Mercedes helmets since they've rejoined in Formula 1 in 2010. A touching tribute to his father, Michael Schumacher, can be seen on the rear of the helmet. The Chinese dragon design was also seen on his father's helmets during his stint as a Mercedes driver shortly before retiring. A weird choice by the devs is that Mick does not retain his helmet from the 2022 game, although Daniel Ricciardo does. You can see here, for this point's sake, some footage of Mick's helmet without the mod installed. It is the Mercedes base helmet. Also, as you can see on the left, there is a silly bug where Mick's MSC doesn't appear on the timing board. This isn't a result of the mod, just a weird bug in Manager 2023 that was not present in 2022. McLaren's reserve driver, Álex Palou, is currently competing in the 2023 IndyCar season and competing at the highest level. As of this recording, he currently leads the championship by over 100 points with just 3 races remaining. There is actually a lot of speculation on whether or not he will be in Formula 1 full-time next year, but not at McLaren. Both AlphaTauri and Williams have their eyes on the talented young Spaniard, but I digress. Another easy-to-research helmet, as this design takes from his IndyCar helmet and translates any relevant sponsors and logos from IndyCar and changes them into McLaren's Formula 1 sponsors. His helmet design features loosely Spanish flag-inspired colours and blue stripes that are featured on his IndyCar helmet thanks to McLaren Arrow's blue branded sponsor NTT Data. This helmet design may also just be adapted from his helmet when he appeared on track for McLaren during free practice at the Circuit of Americas in 2022. The very talented Formula 2 driver from France, Théo Pourchaire, is currently in the reserve driver seat for Alfa Romeo. This design simply takes the helmet that he has been sporting this Formula 2 season, which he is currently leading ahead of Frederick Vesti and Ayuma Iwasa, so congratulations to him for that. I'm unsure of what the 98 on the rear of the helmet is supposed to signify, as this is neither his car number he's raced under or the year he was born in. Felipe Drugovich fills the seat of Aston Martin's reserve driver. The 2022 Formula 2 champion dons the Brazilian flag and the cross on the rear of his helmet, which is just about as Brazilian as you can get. There's not much else to say on this helmet, but I really enjoy how the glitter effect is replicated with this texture. Grandson of the two-time Brazilian Formula 1 world champion Emerson Fittipaldi and brother of the Formula 2 driver Enzo Fittipaldi, Pietro Fittipaldi is the current reserve driver for Haas. A relatively simple but bold and bright helmet design, Pietro dons the white and red bucket with his name and the flags of Brazil and the United States of America, as he is half Brazilian, half American. The design actually reminds me a lot of Schumacher's helmet during his Ferrari years, but that is naturally down to the simple red design. We can also see his driver number 51 on the top. Pietro also suffers from the bug of his name not appearing properly on the timing board. I saw someone say that it may be due to the fact that his brother is already in the game and the game cannot handle two drivers having the same three-letter abbreviation. This might be true, but I've not tested to see if Enzo appears as Fit yet, or if Michael Schumacher, yes, he is in the game files, appears as MSC. One of my personal favourite junior drivers, Liam Lawson, has normally been seen repping a more Red Bull livery-inspired helmet during his Formula 2 seasons and his current Super Formula season, but he has worn this white and pink AlphaTauri-inspired helmet during his most recent sessions in the cars. The design features the basic white and dark blue colours from AlphaTauri's livery, with streaks of pink which Liam has featured on his previous helmets, and the silver fern on the rear, a leaf commonly used in unofficial flags for New Zealand, the home country of Lawson. Those are all the helmets featured in the mod, but you might be thinking, only 7? Where's the 10 teams? Where's Red Bull, Alpine and Williams? Let's dive into that. Firstly, as previously mentioned, Daniel Ricciardo already has a unique helmet texture in the game attached to it, so this mod leaves his helmet untouched, and the Red Bull reserve driver helmet texture too. Secondly, Williams officially does not have a hired reserve driver. Their reserve driver in-game, Luc Dupont, is literally not a real person. The same goes for Denis Moreau, Alpine's reserve driver in-game, and Miguel Baltazar, Alfa Romeo's reserve driver in-game. The reason for the latter two is because Alpine and Alfa Romeo's reserve drivers are currently competing in Formula 2, so they cannot officially be on the F1 roster in-game, as reserve drivers count as F1 seats. Alpine's reserve driver seat belongs to Jack Doohan. Again, he is already competing in Formula 2, but I'm unsure as to why GLXFX did not create a custom helmet texture for Jack Doohan, but did for Théo Pourchaire, especially considering how cool of a helmet it is. Also, one thing I noticed for the first time whilst getting this footage, for some teams, Williams and Alpine at least, the default team helmet texture is actually slightly different between both drivers. Nice little detail there. But there we go, there's a look at and the history behind this great reserve driver helmet by GLXFX. This video took a lot longer than usual due to the amount of footage and research that was needed, but I still had a lot of fun making it. I'll probably now use this mod in my standard playthroughs of F1 Manager 2023, since this mod just brings a lot more life to the game, especially in the later seasons when more F1 drivers retire and the F2 and F3 drivers start getting signed to teams. I've of course linked the mod below and also the F1 Manager database editor, which makes recording footage for these things very easily. I hope to see you guys in the next mod showcase. Have a good day everybody, peace out.